There are plenty of lovely small cars on the market, and we've tried a few. Twingo, a Renault Clio, the Mini, the Fiat 500, but they are all small. Now what if you want a small car, but you want one that's just a bit bigger than small, so that you can take the kids around, go and do your DIY shopping, a bit more flexibility? What would you go for? So I'm driving Vauxhall Agila Club, which has a 1.2 litre petrol engine. And I do wonder whether this ticks all the right boxes. It is a small car, but it's a very flexible car, and it has an amazing amount of space inside. Vauxhall describe it as being tall but short, and it really does describe it very well. My husband's very tall, and for once he can actually get out of this car without a bad hairdo, because normally his head's pushing against the ceiling. It's a really good looking car. It's very cheeky, and it's got quite a wedgy look to it at the back. It's got a very flat rear end, which I think sort of almost looks like a Smurf's hat, because it sort of goes up in sort of little pointy bits at the end. That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? As well as its good looks, we've got an amazing colour, lemongrass, and Vauxhall have introduced some really good, stunning colours for this new range. My husband took the kids to the cinema, massive car park, and it was easily identifiable by that lovely rear end and the superb colour. As for the interior of the car, it's fine. The seats are very comfortable, good hard-wearing material. Ours is a bit dull, but you can get some different coloured trims depending on what colour car you get on the outside. The dash is a bit sort of plasticky, a bit hard-looking, but it's fine. I like the controls. I think they're very clear. Vauxhall seem quite proud of their rev counter, which sort of sits here like a boil, I think. I think it's a bit ridiculous. Why do you need a rev counter in a car like this? Family hatchback. It's not a sports car. I think their money would be better spent elsewhere, say with a squidgy dash. This car's selling point is for its space and flexibility. But really, just how spacious is it? It does have fantastic split seats at the back, which split 60-40, and you can flop those down just using one hand, which is fantastic. Without that, the boot is small. It's tiny. I did get a good load of shopping in, but it is quite small, and there's also a little hidden compartment underneath where you can put things, but I don't quite know why it's there. I would rather have a deeper boot so that I know my shopping is going to stay in there quite firmly, rather than having to lift up this extra little lid to find this little bit underneath. A bit puzzled by that. Another selling point for this car is the fact you can fit 5 adults in very safely, because they all have 3-point seat belts. There isn't a huge amount of room at the back, but for normal sized people it's fine, even with the front seats all the way back. The seats only just touch a normal sized adult. Plenty of room at the front though. What I really do like about it is the comfort of the seats and the fact you can adjust them for both height and going backwards and forwards. Not just for the driver's seat either, for the passenger seat as well, which is quite unusual. Also the steering wheel is adjustable for height, but not for reach. So really anybody's going to get comfortable in this car. It is a really fun car to drive. It's nippy and it's responsive. It's very quiet. The gears are very sort of positive. They do sort of clunk into place and can be quite noisy, I think. If you were to hear it now. Clunk. It is a firm ride, and do get to bounce about a bit at the back, but for Debbie, she really liked it. She liked the firm ride because it suits the kids better for their car sickness, and they weren't car sick. It has speed dependent power steering, so that when you're pootling around town or parking, it's really lovely and light, but as soon as you put your foot down, go a bit faster, it firms up. If I do want to complain about something, and I normally do, it would be the indicator. It is the most ridiculous noise ever. It is irritating, and I think, you know, in a world full of irritating noises, that's one you could do without. I'll demonstrate in a minute when we go around a corner. Hideous. I'll put it on for you now just to demonstrate. Can you hear that ridiculous noise? However, if that's the only thing we've got to complain about, it's not bad. And really, we can't find anything else to complain about because we really like this car. As far as safety is concerned, it's got anti-locking brakes, emergency brake assist, airbags on the front and side, the 3-point seat belts for all 5 people in the car, and 2 ISOFIX mountings at the outer seats at the back of the car. So NCAP have given it a 5-star rating, but Vauxhall are quite vague about how that's split, so I presume it's just for overall occupancy. This car comes in at, on the road, 9395, but we do have an extra couple of options. The fluorescent paint is £350, and the electronic stability programme comes in at £400. Would any of us want to buy this car? I know that Debbie was really taken with it. It reminded her of a Fiat Uno she had years and years ago, and I know Paul's very taken with it. As for me, I've really enjoyed driving it around, but as a second family car, yeah, great, I would consider it, but not as a main car. It's just too small for me with the 3 kids. They're all sort of growing larger and larger and need more stuff to be carted around, so no, I wouldn't. But I think the market that it's aimed at, say the younger woman with a younger family, I think this would be a fantastic car to have. Very versatile. Yeah, I can see it really working well.